out referendum. We don't know when that will be, possibly this summer, but it will definitely be before the end of 2017. And now we learn that more than 60 businesses here in Yorkshire have thrown their support behind a campaign to leave the EU. These businesses have signed up to something called Vote Leave, one of the groups vying to be the official campaigners for the no vote. All sorts of different factions are going to be voting and fighting for your vote, one side or another. Carl Chambers is leading the Yorkshire contingent, which is made up of small and medium-sized businesses, and he's here now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you a little Englander?
Not at all. In fact, one of the reasons why businesses have got together to talk about leaving the EU is because a lot of businesses are frustrated by the fact that they are finding it difficult to trade with the rest of the world, not just Europe, because trade agreements are something which are negotiated at the moment for us by the EU. Trying to get together 28 different countries to negotiate a trade deal with the likes of China, the US, very, very complicated. The UK on its own, if it was out of the EU, would be able to negotiate those trade deals. So the businesses are actually wanting to do what the British businesses have always done best, which is trade with the world.
All right, I'll talk to you about which businesses have signed up so far in a moment, but what we're told is that the Prime Minister is renegotiating our relationship with the EU, and once he feels he's satisfied with that, he will then give us a date for the referendum. It could be some of the concerns that you and other business owners and those running those businesses in Yorkshire have some of those concerns addressed.
Well, Business for Britain, which is actually the organisation that I represent, which is part of the Vote Leave, was originally set up on exactly that basis, to look for fundamental change in the EU, and if that change wasn't achieved, then to look at the leave option. And that might still happen. The view that the businesses are taking, though, is that it's very unlikely, because what is being negotiated is not what was talked about either in 2010 or 2015. We think it's highly unlikely there's going to be any fundamental change at all.
Who signed up to this? I mean, when you use the term Yorkshire businesses, 60 of them, what are we talking about? Small businesses, medium-sized businesses, multi-million-pound turnover businesses?
You're talking a range of businesses. You're talking about hotels, you're talking about trading operations, people who export, people who don't export.
Who's the biggest?
I don't know which is the biggest out of them. I haven't
Give me some names.
Well, there's Ray in Sheffield, there's a few hotel businesses, my own organisations, we are gas suppliers. There's a range of businesses, and I think it's not necessarily the size which is important.
Isn't it?
No, because there's a range. I think one of the reasons why Business for Britain was very keen to get involved, one of the messages which has got out is that businesses generally are very keen to stay in the EU.
But you'll forgive me, and in no way am I being negative about the businesses who've signed up here, but in order to have some clout in what's going to be a bitter argument, a bitter debate, whoever gets the official sanction to lead the no vote as well as the yes, you're going to need some businesses that have got some serious clout. Have you got them then?
Yeah, if you look at Business for Britain, it is a nationwide organisation.
Isn't it? I mean, give me an idea then of a business that is of great significance in terms of our economy wants to vote no.
Well, look at James Dyson, a large manufacturing operation. James Dyson is very, very keen on leaving the EU. Look at JCB, another manufacturing business, very keen to leave the EU. And what's important as well is, although there are large multinational businesses, there are small businesses, the fact of the matter is that 90% of jobs in this country are created by the small, medium-sized sector. And it's that's important. It's about, the people who actually get out and create the jobs. And we're here to start let's be blunt, the campaign started yesterday for us. We still don't know when the referendum will be. Like you say, it probably will be in June. So we've got a very short time to campaign. We are now starting the process of bringing more businesses on board. At the moment in Yorkshire alone, we've got 62. That will grow. These are businesses which create jobs.
We are and have been entrenched, and we could argue all day, and you could tell me why that's a bad thing and how it's hampering business for here till June, I assume. But we are part of the EU right now. Yes, business-wise, but in terms of our identity, whilst we hope we don't lose our Britishness, there are those who will argue against you. Walking away from this is extremely detrimental, that Britain cannot stand alone. Can you briefly tell me why you believe we can?
Yeah, I think that's a very, very pessimistic view. Britain is the fourth or fifth largest economy in the world. It is a nation which is full of creative, innovative businessmen. It has a history of trading. We are well known around the world for our ability. I mean, look, our language alone helps us sell. We are well able to stand outside of the EU, and if you look at what the EU is costing us alone at the moment, I mean, you've been talking this morning about floods, you've been talking about what's happening in Yorkshire. You know, you look at the Yorkshire region alone, we contribute 1.1 billion to the EU. That's about 24 times what's been spent on flood defences in the last year. That's money that can go back into businesses.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll speak again.
Thank you very much.
Carl Chambers, Chairman of Business for Britain.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.